Welcome to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, LesleyKlein, here to help you raise your vibration so you can thrive. My guest today is a visionary entrepreneur. She's a jewelry designer and a seasoned spiritual teacher with over 28 years of experience in jewelry, yoga, meditation, and metaphysical healing. Joelle Ingwaldson, the founder of Darshan Sacred Jewelry, is a personal astrological jewelry designer and a Kundalini Yoga teacher. She's an intuitive artist who masterfully blends spirituality with luxury in her high vibe jewelry. Coming to us from California, please welcome Joelle. So tell me about your spiritual journey that led you to creating this company and doing your spiritual jewelry.
Well, back in the mid 90s, I got into jewelry, and it wasn't something that I was looking for. It was actually one of my dad's ex-girlfriends owned a jewelry store, and she was looking for somebody to manage it. And she kept approaching me because I had been managing other types of retail stores. And I finally said, okay. She taught me everything from the back end of manufacturing and designing to the front end with actually working with clients selling bridal jewelry, because that was her focus. Sales, I've always been into. It's, retail. I've always had that experience, but this was very different. And so I learned all the manufacturing, connected with so many amazing artisans and craftsmen and gemstone dealers and suppliers, and so that happened. And then I was actually looking to buy diamonds from a diamond dealer, and to fulfill some orders, and it was small talk. I said I was into martial arts, and he was saying he does yoga, and I was like, oh, I've always wanted to try yoga. And so he told me, oh, I have the best yoga teacher in the world, wrote down the name of the studio and the teacher. And, back in the mid 90s, around 95, 96, there's no internet really. So I drove to West LA to this yoga studio, got a schedule, and circled the name of that teacher that he recommended. And I made sure not to go to that teacher because that was the best yoga teacher in the world, and I had never done yoga before. And so I was thinking it was more like Cirque du Soleil, So I ended up going on a different night. And the night I went was a night Yogi Bhajan taught, who was the master of Kundalini Yoga. I had no idea who it was or anything. I had no idea what he was talking about in the class. I knew nothing. I was like, what? But it resonated so deep within my soul. I just had tears that ran down my cheeks. I felt right at home. I felt a connection. And from that point on, I never looked back. I continued with my Kundalini Yoga journey, and went into teacher training and did all the things and taught for many years. And it's something that I still practice today. I have more of like a home practice. But that's kind of how I got into my spiritual life, through jewelry. Jewelry was just kind of a career move for me. And through that, I met some different healers, different teachers in the Kundalini lineage. And like with Yogi Bhajan, he was always adorned in jewelry, big, important pieces of jewelry. And I was always in awe. And I've never been a big jewelry person. I'm in jewelry, but I'm not like one to ever be fully decked out. I know that, there are others that really love to adorn themselves with a lot of jewelry. I've never been like that. I do wear it purposefully now, but in my years here and my spiritual path, Gurudev Singh, who's the master of Satnam Rasayan healing, years ago, he passed away a couple years ago, but years ago, I was asked to source some moonstones for him for a piece for 2 rings. And I was fascinated and I felt honored. I mean, he was the master of Satnam Rasayan, an amazing healing technique that I love to practice. He opened my curiosity with these gems. Between him and Yogi Bhajan wearing these like massive pieces. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it all opened up.
Darshan is your spiritual name, and you named your company after that. So how did you get your spiritual name? Tell us about that.
After being on my path for a while, I realized there were all these people with these spiritual names, and and your spiritual name is something to live up to, and all the things. It's something to meditate on, and you either love your spiritual name or you hate it, according to what I always heard. And so I asked for my spiritual name, and I was given Darshan, and it resonated right from the moment I got it. And so many people from my life back then, when they saw it, when they heard it was Darshan, they're like, yeah. And so they've always called me Darshan. I've always been Darshan to them. And so then fast forward years later, my company was called Sacred Bauble, which was kind of like a cheeky spin on sacred jewelry, Sacred Bauble. But I just felt like it wasn't fitting. And because I felt like what I do is definitely, it's not cheeky, it's sacred. And at one point it kind of landed, and I'm like, Darshan, blessing.
Does Darshan have a meaning? Is it a Sanskrit word?
Well, it's in Sanskrit, but it's also, it's a Sikh given name also. Okay. But it means blessings, to receive blessings, a gift from the Guru, that blessed vision. And so I hold high reverence for my spiritual practice and all of the esoteric and occult paths. I don't know, Darshan to me was just like, it's what I offer is blessings. And my name, I definitely have meditated on my name for so long, and for many years, and have tried to definitely live up to Darshan, what that is. It's like, if you want a blessing, then be a blessing, So I'm always doing what I can to look out for other people and be a messenger, be a blessing, help people, all the things, and
So you got your spiritual name after doing Kundalini Yoga for how many years, would you say?
I was probably like 2-3 years into, maybe not quite 3 years, probably I would say closer to 2 years, because when I dived in, and I had some pretty amazing experiences with Yogi Bhajan at, my first summer solstice. I went to New Mexico. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, honestly, but I would see people line up and like want to receive his darshan, his blessings, and they go and they touch his feet and touch their forehead or their heart. I'm like, what is that all about? Because I saw it happening in Los Angeles at the yoga classes. And so one day I just got the courage and I went and I did it. People were always like 5 or 6 people, we're like 3 to 5 people deep as he would walk by. And, I ran out there and I maneuvered in and I reached out and I touched his feet. And I stood up and I put it right here on my third eye. And then all of a sudden it was like Star Wars, my third eye opened. And it was pretty amazing. I was just kind of like, wow, what just happened? I was really young. I was in my 20s and trying to understand everything. And I talked to a few people who knew him and what he could do. And they're like, oh yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing, and he opened your third eye. And I was like, wow, and I was just always in awe and in complete reverence of this path and the teachers and, scooping the cream, whatever resonated and like felt good to me, I scooped and it implemented into my life and would share that with others whenever possible.
So then when did you start doing the spiritual jewelry and start your...
Oh yeah, so I wasn't even trying to do spiritual. I wasn't even trying to have a company. I was in my career running other businesses. I grew and, I managed that jewelry store, that bridal jewelry store for a couple of years. And then that, I started to meet different people in the industry, and one thing led to another. So I kind of worked in many facets of the jewelry, from wholesale, diamond wholesaling, to gemstone, to cash and carry, to fine jewelry, designer jewelry, manufacturing, like everything. And every time I try and get out of jewelry, because I was so devoted and just wanted to teach yoga and study more Kabbalah and pranic healing and all the things, I always got pulled back into jewelry, and it was just like, I could never get out. And I started to, as my career progressed, and I guess as I got older, that the jewelry, my healing and all of that kind of dissipated. I got kind of caught up in my career, and I started traveling around the world. And so I was really just caught up in my career, and still practicing my meditations and doing the things, but not as like so devotional like I was in my early on. And then I had a little, health bump, and I was diagnosed with an early stage of breast cancer. And so at that point, when I got that, I realized, oh my God, my whole life, like, just stopped. And I saw how harsh I was with myself. I didn't have a lot of compassion, and I just kept pushing through. And there was a part of me, because I've done so much healing work and yogic work and spiritual work, that I knew that this wasn't right. And so I walked away from a career in my healing because I've collected beads and jewelry and stones and stuff over the years, because I'm a fan. I may not always wear them all, but I'm a fan. I started making things, and I took pictures, and then in my healing, this was like in 2014-ish. Yeah, 2014, 2015. I started posting them on social media, on Facebook. At that time, it was just Facebook. I didn't even know how Instagram even worked. So that's my jewelry, how it came to be. I wasn't looking to start anything. I wasn't trying to. I was in a career that I was like, I was in. But the universe, it was just like, yeah, no girl. You're gonna reel it in and start healing yourself and taking good care of yourself, a lot of self-love, self-nurturing, and get back to basics. And that's exactly what I've done. And it slowly just grew. So I posted, and to my surprise, really, people wanted it and kept asking me how to buy it. And I was like, really? I'm like, okay, And so one thing led to another. So the foundation of my jewelry career has really brought me to where I'm at today. All of my craftsmen, my suppliers, people that I work with, I've had relationships with for 28 years. And they knew me when I was a puppy, starting in the jewelry business. I'm just little me, and I'm like a guppy in the world of the internet and jewelry, the world of jewelry, branded jewelry designers, but I understand the concepts and the essence and what people want and quality. And I offer that. And I offer just a certain vibration, for my packaging, everything. I hold myself to certain high standards. I've worked in various luxury branded companies, and I love that. Like, I love luxury branded, everything just like beautiful and fabulous, like I love. And so I do my best to bring that into my own business and give people, something that's going to bless them in their life, to bring healing into their life, to elevate them in their life.
You're talking about you went through your own healing. Did you use the stones and the Vedic astrology of the stones that you needed to help you heal?
Yes. So in Vedic astrology, there are certain gemstones that I was always recommended to wear. And the one is a pearl. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to wear pearls, And I do wear a pearl. I always wear it on Monday for sure. But that's my life stone. And so, sometimes what you resist persists, and those lessons and all the things. But when I do wear my pearl, I do feel more at peace and a little more balanced and a little more centered. But in my own healing, again, pearl is my life stone, but I'm also in a Rahu Dasha, which is a pretty intense period. And so I always make sure that I am wearing specific gemstones for this Dasha. And again, through applying myself in my own healing and having it was just like a handful of people that knew that I'm a jeweler, always pushing me to either, start making the malas, and now it's Vedic jewelry, and it's, I've come into making Vedic jewelry for people, and I actually really thrive and I love it. My jewelry I make it to fit each person and their personality. It's a lot of clients, I find that they don't want like airy fairy. They don't want it to look, woo woo. And, but they do want a nice piece of jewelry that's going to look amazing on them and get the job done, basically. And so, that's what I offer, because I have this vast background in manufacturing jewelry and sourcing gems from all over the world. And my sources know that these are Jyotish, and so there's certain parameters that I have when I look for certain stones for people. And how that goes is like, if somebody says like, oh, I need an emerald, right? So I have like the most amazing emerald guys. And or it could be yellow sapphire, whoever in Sri Lanka or wherever, but they're all amazing. But so I will see what they have available, and I will take, get pictures and videos and send those to my clients with the exact specs of the stone and pricing. And this is it, let me know what you like. And if you want to see a video, let me know. I'll have them send me a video. I'll have them place it on their hand, outside, in natural light, whatever, however they want to see it. And if they like it, then great, we'll order it and I'll have it shipped over. All of these usually come from overseas. I like to go straight to the source, and I feel like it just kind of cuts out a lot of middle people, and it makes things more affordable, for my clients on that end.
Well, Joelle, it's time for a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about the personal astrological gemstone reading that you do and you actually did a little report for me. So I'm hoping that you can just kind of demonstrate that, so that if someone wants that from you, kind of what kind of information they'll get. So we
Okay.
will be back right after this. And welcome back to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, LesleyKlein, and my guest today has been Joelle with Darshan Sacred Jewelry. Joelle, we were talking about the intention and the vibration of stones, and about the personal astrological gemstone reading that you do. You did one for me, and I was hoping you could explain, if someone wanted to get the service from you, what information do they get?
Yeah, sure. So Vedic astrology, in Vedic astrology, there's a slice of it. It's so vast. There's so many ways, kind of rabbit holes you can go down in Vedic astrology to learn about your chart. But I was always drawn to the gemstones, and in my process, I've discovered how to offer gemstone readings to people based on your astrological birthday, your date, time, and city, state you were born in. And in that report, you get your life stone, your benefit stone, and lucky stone. And those 3 stones are like you can wear for at any point in your life. They're always going to be helpful, supportive, beneficial for you, helping you in various aspects or for protection, whatever. And then in the report, I also give you your current planetary period, which is called your dasha, and what gemstone you should be wearing for X amount of years under whichever planetary influence you're under.
In my report, the dasha was Mercury, and I think you said emerald.
Yes, emerald is the stone for Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, expression, kind of what you're putting out into the world. And in everybody's birth chart, planets are going to sit differently. I think in your chart, it sits pretty well. Your Mercury and emerald would just be very supportive for you while you're in this period of your life, to help bring in more success. You're in media. It will help with your business and media and communication, and everything you're putting out into the world is the period you're in, is Mercury. And so wearing an emerald on your pinky would be like the ideal place for you, because your pinky is the planet Mercury. People that don't want to wear gemstones, they can, they do body work, blah, 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 whatever. And so the next best place would just be like in a pendant. But, wearing your gemstone on a very specific finger on a part of your body is very auspicious. And it's just like when you use a mala to meditate, if you rub the mala here on your Jupiter finger, right? Your index finger is Jupiter. You're rubbing that period. It's a meridian point right here that you're unlocking when you rub a bead right there. If you wear yellow sapphire here, that's the stone for Jupiter, right? Expansion, wisdom, knowledge, the teacher, the guru, prosperity, abundance, all the good things, right? Hopefully it's aspected well, because if you don't have good aspects with Jupiter, it could blow it up and be blown
So
up.
the beneficial stone, you said for me, was yellow sapphire.
You wear that for luck, prosperity, success, personal relations. And then in the report, I kind of go into why, the yellow sapphire for which, specific house it's going to benefit. But yeah, so yellow sapphire is always a great stone to wear.
Okay, so let's talk about the life stone. For me, you said pearl was my life stone, which I guess is like your life stone as well, was pearl.
Yes. So it's for health, life, longevity, standard of living, and mental strength. So, the moon, right? We're kind of sensitive to the moon and the energies of the moon and the fluctuation. It's always fluctuating every day.
Yes.
And, and so pearl really helps to balance the emotions, balance the mind, stabilizes everything. Wearing white is always good when you've got your Langa, your ascendant is Cancer, which is your life stone. You can wear a pearl, again here, sometimes it's just a pearl mala, meditating with a pearl mala. You can wear it on a ring finger or pinky, or placements for that.
And that's for pearl because why? The ring finger is... if this is Jupiter and this is Mercury.
Yeah, okay, so you have Mercury. This is your sun finger, right? Sun, you can wear red coral here. You can wear ruby here, right? Red coral is Mars. Ruby is the sun. The middle finger is Saturn. So every Vedic astrologer, depending on your chart, will sometimes tweak it for people. I'm just going by general, what I know in general, where you should, the placements. But if you see somebody who's like, this is, they see your chart and like, no, definitely where, you want your red coral and copper, wear copper or gold or whichever the metal.
And so the lucky stone for me, my report was red coral.
Okay, yeah. So red coral, you can wear that in a mala, in a pendant. You can wear it on your sun finger, which is either your left or your right hand. And generally it's either gold or copper is the metal.
When you're using red coral?
Yes. Yep. And that's your lucky stone is for your professional success, to help find any hidden talents that you may have. It helps with your financial prosperity, education, knowing what your stones are, even if you have kids, it's really good to know what stones are, these three main stones are, because if they're still in school, and they're struggling, it's like having them wear like a, whatever their stone is, even if it's just like a big pearl bead on a cord or something, if that's like their, lucky stone. Just knowing the information is power, right? And it's just one added step, one more layer in your own healing process. It's like knowing that it's like, okay, I'm wearing my pearl today. I'm feeling all the feels, and I got my pearl on, and I know that that's like helping. It's just another layer, you know? And these gemstones also, they take on the planetary aspects, the gifts of the planet. They take those on, and then the more you wear them, they start to build in your energy field. And in Vedic astrology, the stones are always set on a to set low to touch your skin. They're not just set normally. So everything, like even if you see, like in my, I don't know if you're going to be able to even see that, but my pearl ring, it's like it's sitting in a lotus cup, and underneath,
so it's touching your skin.
It's underneath, it's touching, yes. And so always you want your Vedic stone to preferably wear it on the right finger, but if you're not, it's okay. Like I don't like to always be bejeweled, so I do wear a big Vedic piece around my neck, you know.
What stone is that one?
This is Hessonite for Rahu. I'm in a Rahu dasha. And Rahu is a malefic. It's not easy. And so I also wear, you know, I wear a lot of so, you know, also wearing, so in astrology, knowing what your stones are, what planetary period you're in, part of the to take the edge off is to show reverence and do all the things that that planet loves, right? There are so many different remedies that you can do. You know, there's chanting, there's certain sevas you can do. You could do pujas, you can wear your gemstone. Doing different things like that will also help boost your energy field, your healing, help with your karma, help to balance it out, help to neutralize it, help to boost it. It's really endless. And you know, gemstones have been around for millions of years. They've been in the earth for millions and millions and millions of years, literally. And you know, Vedic astrology has been around for forever, you know, at least 5,000 years, they say. It's something that I'm into, that I love, and I am able to do it with my background. I have access to amazing suppliers around the world. And if I can help somebody on their path, you know, I always feel honored, and I do it through jewelry, you know, whether it's a meditation mala or a Vedic piece of jewelry or a crystal, you know, some type of crystal that they love. They all have their own different healing properties, and we all know that, right? It's just knowing that, okay, I'm really challenged right now, and I know this ring is working for me. It's like, it's helping to like balance some things out. Or it's like, I'm on a roll and I've got like I feel the force with me, and I'm wearing my power ring right now, that Jupiter ring, and I'm going to take off. Or I'm wearing that emerald, and what I'm doing, what I'm communicating and putting out into the world is just, it's going to land.
It's the energy of the stone, but it's also the intention behind it.
Yes, the energy of the stone, the intention. And when the stone is set, the stone is made. So I have all of my, you know, my team, my craftsmen, my shops. They're amazing. All of that energy goes into it, right? You know, I've had also setting. I want to say, make sure that you know that all my stones are set on an auspicious day. I follow the moon and the stars, and I make sure that it's set like nice, so it just continues to usher in more blessings.
Do you cleanse the stones when you get them? Run them through sage, or do other techniques?
I do. All of my stones are, I clear them energetically when I receive them. And then they go through production, and then at the end, I clear everything energetically again before I ship it off. But people want to know, do you chant or pray or do anything like that over it? No, I keep it neutral. I want the gemstones to be energetically clear for the receiver. And then you invoke, if you need a specific, they're interested in a specific Vedic chant or a mantra or something, I can let them know. But it's your connection, you know? And it's like when I line up the stones for my clients and give them all these different, I mean, you actually start to see the personality of each stone. And not every stone is the same. They, you know, an emerald's an emerald. No, they're all different. When you line them all up and I take snapshots and pictures and send it, then they really see it's totally different. And then when you look at the video of it, it's like, it will speak to you. And I sell jewelry. I make jewelry, custom jewelry for people all over the United States, Canada. I've shipped to the Philippines, you know, and Europe. But this is just how I work. I can do FaceTime or WhatsApp or just text, you know, and I just take pictures and videos, and I try to make it as easy as possible for people, and just like, it's not even a big deal. Like, there's like no worry, because it's like, I got you, like I connect with you. I know what you need. I feel your energy. Like, I'm super dialed into all of that, you know? And when I'm sourcing, I'm looking through all the stones, I'm feeling the connection. But I'm not gonna choose for anybody. You're gonna choose. This is your stone, you know? And if you're unsure, there's no pressure. I don't there's none of that. It's like, yeah, take your days, you know?
Right. So that's why you call yourself an intuitive energy artist.
Yes. And then the same. And then once we have the stone, I like to see a picture of somebody's hand, so I can see the shape of their hand. So I know what shape of stones are going to look nice on their hand, right? Because I want it to complement, and I want it to look beautiful, you know, whether you're male or female. And
so someone can get a astrological reading with you, learn what their life stone is, their lucky stone, their beneficial stone, and if there's a dasha stone for the period they're in. And then they could create a custom piece, like a ring with all those stones, or a mala with those stones, or a pendant with those stones. And that's what you can help people do for people. So that's awesome.
I mean, once we clarify how they want to wear it, you know, because I have some disclosures, like if you're rough with your hands, okay, and you're going to wear an emerald on your pinky, I need to know that you're rough with it, because emerald's a soft stone, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that the ring that we design is going to work for you. And so, and then I do like a mood board. I ask if you have like specific ring designs or things that you've seen that you like, let me know, because then I can extract all the things that you love about that, and we'll combine everything into your piece. And then you know, I have my shop, we work on a CAD on the computer, a computerized image of the piece. And then once that's with that exact stone, with the measurements, everything, your finger size, I send you a picture of it, yay, nay, we make adjustments there. If it's yay, then we continue on with the process.
That's awesome.
And but I just, you know, I want it to be really special. I want everyone to feel really good about what they're getting, and know that, you know, this jewelry is sacred, and it's there to help them, to elevate them, to give them a boost, to bring them blessings in their life.
That's awesome. Well, it's time for another break. So when we come back, we're going to find out how our audience can work with you and how you raise your vibration. So we'll be right back after this. and welcome back to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, LesleyKlein, and we've been talking to Joelle Ingwaldson, and she is our astrological gemstone jeweler. And it's been wonderful learning your process of how you can work with people to create a custom piece that's spiritually aligned and that helps them raise their vibration. So, Joelle, I love to ask my guests what they like to do specifically to raise their vibration. And of course, I'm sure that wearing your specific jewelry is one way you do it. But are there other things in addition that you do to raise your vibration?
Yeah, definitely. I wear jewelry on specific days. I make sure always. And then meditation. I have almost 30 years of a daily practice. And that's essentially what I do, to keep myself elevated and clear in my space, in my workspace or my home space. I also play mantra very low. It's not something that you can really hear, but it's very low, and your subconscious, anybody who's in my space, your subconscious picks up on this. My workspace and my home space is a complete selenite crystal grid. So I've got selenite towers literally in like every corner within my spaces. So within my office space, my home space, everything, there's like crystal towers everywhere. So I work with like multiple frequencies to keep everything high.
And selenite, I know, at least I'm familiar, some people call it frozen white light. It's a stone. Can you maybe able to elaborate more on it? A stone that you can use to clear other stones, but it's like frozen white light, and it doesn't ever has to be cleansed itself. It's actually used to clean other stones, right?
Absolutely. I have slabs of it, and literally like I said, and that's how I clear energetically my gemstones and beads and things that I get from around the world. It's like, I feel it, they feel great, right? I mean, but you put it on, I lay it on a big slab, like a log, and it's just like, you can feel all the energy just lift off, and it's amazing.
Joelle, what's the best way people can reach you and see what other beautiful jewelry you have?
You can visit my website, darshansacredjewelry.com. I'm also on Instagram, Darshan_Sacred Jewelry, or Facebook. But social media.
So if they go to your website, they can find all your social media, but that's where you have your catalog of the actual pieces that people can buy, and also how they can get an astrological Vedic Astrology reading.
On my website, I have like all my offerings of like my ready-made jewelry that's just ready to go, and then they can also find my gemstone readings if you're interested and curious. They're listed there. And then also, if you want to learn more about custom and how I work, I have that all laid out there too. I'm pretty transparent. I like people to feel good about everything they're getting.
Now, I understand you have a special offer for Good Vibes viewers.
Yes. So if you see something on my website that you like, goodvibestv, and get 15% off anything you see in my shop.
And I put that promo code in the on the screen there, but I'll also put it.
And then if you decide you want to get like a Vedic, like a gemstone reading, I offer, it's kind of like a coupon. So it's like $54 a reading, but if you decide you want to get a custom piece made, custom source, I just give you that credit.
Thank you for that. That's awesome. 15% off.
Any way I can to like support you on your path.
Well, Joelle, it's been wonderful talking with you today and learning about your jewelry and about your spiritual journey. Do you have any final thoughts for our audience before we close today?
If you have any questions or you want to reach out, please reach out. I'm totally available. Can answer anything. Any questions you may have.
Well, thank you again, Joelle. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. So good seeing you
Yes.
after so many years.
And thank you, Good Vibes TV viewers, for watching. If you've got some value from this show, please like, share, and subscribe. And go to good-vibes.tv to find out about all of our offerings. Remember to raise your vibe so you can thrive. Peace out, everyone.